Well, year's over and it was alright. For my channel, it was great. I got a new editing program, my content improved in terms of quality tremendously, one of my role models subscribed to me, I got involved in the Countdown community a lot more and met tons of great friends, and I played tons of games. However, I don't feel as if there were a lot of new releases that interested me. But we're here to talk about the good, so let's not talk about that like it's Fight Club. As stated previously, I played a ton of games this year, and I'm excited to talk about just a handful as I present to you all my top 10 favorite games I played in 2015. Why just the top 10 instead of the punny top 15? Well, I wanted to do only one game per franchise, and in turn, I don't have many options since I played a lot of a certain series and nothing else. Whoops. Plus, I'm just too poor for that, so sorry. Also, I named this video the way I did for a reason. Normally, countdown makers said that they didn't have to come out this year, which is what I was planning on doing with this list. However, I haven't played a single game that released this year. Yeah. So anyways, enjoy regardless. At least I can say that you won't see a list like this anywhere else. I'm rambling though, so let's get on with it. Let's blow this popsicle stand. I'm sort of going through that emulator phase right about now, but shh, don't tell anyone I said that. My computer has trouble rendering too much, but I can get a GBA emulator up and running really well. So I decided to finally play the Sonic Advance trilogy, and my favorite would have to be Sonic Advance 2. I like this game because it tries to have its own identity. Sonic Advance was great and all, but it felt like it was trying to be like the classic series. But Advance 2 was fast, exciting, and adrenaline pumping as crap. This was the Sonic Rush before they made the boost. The levels were designed for speed and tricks, making the levels extremely fun to play. When the levels tried to introduce platforming, it felt rather forced, and I found myself enjoying the speed segments a lot more. The music was also excellent, and the bosses were, how do I put this delicately, awful. I didn't really enjoy these. There was one I can say that I enjoyed, but really that's about it. It's sad to say, really. However, the rest of the game was a blast. The animation was 2D GBA goodness, the levels were fun, the music got me hyped, and overall the experience was a lot better than I could have ever hoped for from this game. A very advanced game for its time, if I do say so myself. Guess who was late to the Mario Kart party? Me! Honestly, I didn't want to get this game when it first came out. I don't know why, but I just wasn't really feeling it. But when I saw the DLC in the infamous 200cc mode, immediately after that was announced and that it was for free, I had to buy the game. Boy, am I glad I did. Right off the bat, those graphics. Holy crap, this game is one of the most beautiful looking games on the Wii U and in this current gen of consoles. I can't decide whether this or Smash 4 looks better if I'm being honest, but my gosh, Rosalina in HD for the win. Gosh, you're looking great. Sorry, getting off topic. The music is also jazzy and really different from the series, but I really liked it, and it's probably my favorite soundtrack in the series. The gameplay is also great and controls it very well. Plus, the game just looks beautiful. Did I mention that already? Anyways, the online was a fantastic feature. This is pretty much what I do anytime I touch the game if I'm not with friends. That or just staring at the majesty of this game's graphics because, you know, the game's beautiful. But honestly, I don't touch 200cc as much as I thought. Why? Because it's too freaking fast! Why is this game so fast? I can't control Toad, watch out for that! No! 200cc, what have you done? But in all seriousness, Mario Kart 8 is a fantastic addition to this series. I still can't decide whether I like this or Double Dash better. It's a really close call. So if you still haven't gotten this game, I highly recommend it. The game is great and will continue to get great for the years to come. You know what they say, 8th time's the charm. Seriously, can someone call the police? Toad looks really hurt, guys. Speaking of games I chose to wait a year until playing, Shovel Knight was as great as everyone said it was, so let's dig into this game already, but I decided to bring a friend to help me with this. So, Wolf, what do you have to say about this game?
Shovel Knight seemed to get a lot of praise last year with everyone absolutely loving the game. I was no exception, which I'm guessing is the reason Zaffer asked me to join him in this segment.
The story is very simple and pretty cliche if you ask me, but the game pulls it off so well. It also goes without saying that the ending is way more heartwarming than I could have ever imagined.
I completely agree. The game's story may be like an NES game, but the extra care gives you a new appreciation for the characters, with each knight having their own personality. The characters are all unique, and it's for the better.
I agree. Every knight has their own flair, and I appreciate the love and care that went into them. Then there are the graphics. Yeah, they're 2D sprites, but they're so gosh darn detailed and animate better than any NES game ever could.
And of course, the soundtrack is just masterful. It's just beautiful.
At a loss for words, I see. But really, there isn't a better way to describe the soundtrack.
Of course, the way the game plays is the most important part of the game, and Shovel Knight does this so well. The controls are smooth as butter, and everything you do, the game will respond like lightning.
I guess it should be called Lightning Knight then, ah?
I was going for more of a Butter Knight, but that works too.
Ha! Even butter. Regardless, the game may control well, but the levels are even better. Each level is completely different, has tons of secrets, and are hard. But because Shovel Knight controls so well, every death is your fault, and the game never feels cheap, having tons of design choices that I can really respect.
Then there are the bosses, which are easily the best part of this game. They give the game's awesome difficulty and are crazy fun to play. Every boss was woven with care and just had so much effort. Keep in mind, this was an indie game.
The same could be said for this game as a whole. The game just has so much to love that I can't help but enjoy the crap out of this game.
Same here. The game is great in all aspects and really deserves the praise. Now if only Shovel Knight could just get into Smash Brothers already.
We can dream, dude. We can dream. One series I've been dying to play is Castlevania. Being excited for the GBA games being released on the Wii U's eShop, I decided to buy a game from the Castlevania series on the GBA. And no joking, I randomly picked Aria of Sorrow. Then I looked up more info about it online and saw that it was the most popular of the GBA trilogy, and that the game was one of the best in the entire series. Well, no freaking crap. This game is awesome. The story is great, and the characters are surprisingly well written and got the story moving. The graphics are the GBA showing its true strength once again with its fantastic animation and catchy as crap soundtrack. Man, I heard about Castlevania and some wonderful music, but dang, this is good stuff. Then there's the fact that Soma controls well, the castle is incredibly fun to explore, the bosses are great, and the game is fairly challenging while not being overly cheap, but you know, it's whatever. I love the crap out of this game and would constantly lose time playing it, which is a sign that I was having a great time. I played a lot of GBA games this year, and this was easily one of my favorites. I can't wait to play the other GBA games, the originals, Symphony of the Night without a doubt, and hey, maybe I'll even check out the N64 games. Kingdom Hearts is still one of my favorite video game franchises, but one game in this series that's always eluded me was Birth by Sleep, since I didn't have a PSP at the time and didn't get one until later this year thanks to my best friend. But then the HD version came out and I said screw it and decided to play that game instead. I heard a lot of praise for this game, especially from my good friend Jordy, and even though I already knew the story for this game to better understand the series, the story was very well told here. I just wish the game wasn't split into 3. I mean, I don't know how else they would have told this story, but I'm really not a fan of multiple stories in one game. I'm gonna play them all anyways, so I don't really see a point, but that's off topic. The graphics are excellent, and the music is exactly what I expect out of a Kingdom Hearts game. And by that, I mean it's awesome. Just awesome. Yoko, I would marry you, but I'm a devoted man, so sorry. The gameplay is pretty good as well. One thing I appreciate is that there isn't a transition minigame between worlds. You pick one and you're there, which is awesome. The worlds are also a decent size, and being that this is a sequel, it's cool to see some of the worlds and characters before the likes of Sora, since, you know, this game is a prequel. The combat is also very flashy and tons of fun, but honestly, I didn't like it as much as the PS2 games. Yes, even Kingdom Hearts 1. I know I'm in the minority, but that's just how I feel. No copyright intended by that quote, by the way. But it's okay, because I had a ton of fun with this game. In fact, I forgot how much fun Kingdom Hearts games give me, and I'm glad that I played this game this year. It was a very good experience, but now I want to go to sleep, because the game is called Birth by Sleep. Yeah, that's all I've got. Good night. I've lost interest in the Pokemon series as the years went by. I missed out on X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. But after getting X for free and getting absolutely addicted, I got pulled right back into the series. And since I went through my little emulator phase, I wanted to try out Emerald, and holy crap!
You lost interest in the Pokemon series? Play Emerald!
Mario?
What?
Oh, it's you, Arrow. Sorry, the mustache throws me off.
Okay...
Anyways, how'd you get in here? I heard hacking's a bit cliche nowadays.
Larry let me in. He doesn't seem to like you very much.
Little... Anyways, since you're here and you love Emerald so much, wanna tag along for this segment?
Is Aggron my channel mascot?
Heck yeah, he is!
Then let's roll!
Pokemon Emerald got a lot of praise, and honestly, I didn't think the game would live up to its hype. But man, oh man, this game is great! The story is a bit cliche in terms of the Pokemon series, but I feel like this game pulls it off well, and I never found myself cringing.
I have to disagree with you there. The story is really the first to introduce the formula we're so used to nowadays, so I feel like it's justified.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. As someone who wasn't introduced into the series until after the formula was first made, it's something that legitimately bothered me, but I can see where a series veteran like yourself is coming from.
Ha! That's a point for me! Anyways, as Zafre stated before with the previous GBA game,
And as I will state plenty more times as the list goes on,
the graphics are great for GBA standards, and everything animates so smoothly. The game has such a simplistic charm that I can't help but love.
not to mention that everything's a lot faster in this game, and its speed wasn't topped until Generation 5. You get in and you get out with no time wasted. Pretty much one of my favorite features of this game. And that soundtrack.
Oh man, the nostalgia I get from this game. The soundtrack is easily one of my favorites in this series, with the route themes, battle themes, town themes. Man, this soundtrack's good! In my opinion, it's one of the best in this series, and the remakes just made it better.
Oh man, I was looking for an excuse to use Glitch City's music.
You know me too well, dude.
Play that track, Larry. Anyways, the gameplay is great. Not only with its great speed, but a lot of the mechanics are there as well. Sure, if you played future Pokemon games like myself, you'll notice some of the features haven't been made, with the most notable being the physical special split. Trust me, it was very noticeable in this game. But for what the game has, it does exceptionally well.
As for the Pokemon themselves, this game introduced a ton of Pokemon that can stand out on their own, which I will be sure to praise in my upcoming top 50 favorite Pokemon list.
Wow. Way to plug your own video.
Hey, I take whatever chances I can get, but nevertheless, this generation introduces a lot of my favorite Pokemon, with Aggron just being plain awesome. I guess you can say he steals the spotlight, am I right, Zafre?
Regardless, Pokemon Emerald is a fantastic addition to the series, and honestly, it probably could have ranked higher. But there was one problem.
And what would that be?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I haven't beaten the game yet. I played this game on GBA for iOS, a Game Boy Advance emulator for the iPhone. And the emulator has been revoked on and off a lot lately, so I couldn't finish my adventure. Due to the fact that I got so far and all my memory was gone, I pretty much lost all inspiration to continue. But for what I played, it's a phenomenal game that the two of us can't recommend enough.
I'm glad you liked the game, and I hope you can finish your adventure soon.
Hey, thanks, and thanks for joining. Gotta go now, gotta finish this list.
Wait, I just want to say...
Hey, looks like I tamed the Dragon Tamer, guys.
I don't think so.
Good grief, another GBA game? Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said I played a lot of them this year. So, Fire Emblem Awakening was an amazing game, and I had a blast playing through that in 2014. So I decided to try and get my hands on the other games in the series. I've been playing through the first Fire Emblem on the eShop, or at least the first game released in North America, and I've been enjoying that. But after getting Sacred Stones recommended for this list, I decided to give it a shot. Speaking of which, there's the guy who recommended it now. Hey dude!
Yo, are you ready to talk about Sacred Stones?
Of course! I know you were just dying to get in on this segment, so I guess I had no choice but to let you get in on this section.
Yeah, don't pull the scrap on me. You were begging to let me in, and I said no at first. But I only said yes because of your sad obsession with
Dude, I'm sorry, you win!
That's what I thought. Anyway, Sacred Stones.
So this is the second of the two GBA games officially released in North America, even though that didn't seem to stop many translators, and you're dang right that won't stop me when I get to Roy's game.
The game's story talks about the different kingdoms being torn apart and fighting each other due to one of the king's mysterious actions. The mystery of what's going on, along with the characters, really made this one of the better stories overall.
Personally, I enjoyed the characters a lot in this game. The twins were by far the best, and I really loved them, especially their designs, with this game having one of my favorite character designs in the series. What do you think?
Yeah, Little's my favorite character. The others are cool. Ludo. Oh my god, she's so good.
Not as good as Rosalina, though.
Zafre, just stop. Just no.
Aye aye, Captain. The graphics, of course, are GBA goodness, and even though there are some copies here and there, overall the graphics are as amazing as the GBA usually delivers.
On the other hand, the soundtrack is okay. Even though we aren't spoiled anymore with Together We Ride, I have to say that Comrades is quite a good replacement.
Yeah, I have to agree. There are some songs that stick out, but for the most part, it was just background music and not something that I would listen to on my own. But for this type of game, it really works here.
Of course, the gameplay does its job, and does it well. The maps all give specific challenges, and the game is hard just as any other Fire Emblem game would be. The game of course is infamous for its permadeath system, which of course doesn't make you have to restart the chapter when one of your units die, but most of the people like to have everyone alive.
And that's the thing. The characters have personality and they make you want to keep them alive, which is why I love this series so much. The game is great and I just hope that the original can compare to this one.
It doesn't. Just throwing that out there.
I know, but it doesn't hurt the dream, doesn't it?
Don't tell me that's the only reason you brought me here.
Nah, I just needed to hear your sweet accent.
Oh, Sever. I'm totally telling Rosalina you said that.
Okay, bye!
Wait, tell my stories.
Whoa, that was something. Next! Hey look, it's this game. Again. Yeah, I had a blast with Sin and Punishment Star's successor. Literally. The story is cheesy as heck, but at this point in the video, you know I don't mind cheesy stories. Besides, everything else in this game is great regardless. Except for the graphics. Those were okay. Animation was weird and the characters seemed off. But the music was hype and made me want to blow something up. Then the gameplay, whew, it's good. The enemies are relentless, but so are you. Dodging, shooting, rapid fire, and chopping or reflecting with your beam sword or whatever we're gonna call it so we don't get caught out for copywriting the lightsaber for the 50th time now. The levels all bring something new to the table without being a completely different game, keeping things fresh and most of all, fun. The game may be short, but it's very replayable, and I just had such a fun time playing this game. It also helps that the bosses are some of my favorites of Grace Gaming, period. And I'm sure we all know that by now. If you still somehow haven't played this game, it just got re-released on the Wii U eShop, so show our support, and maybe, just maybe, that'll give us a shot at a Wii U HD sequel, hopefully with even more and continues the story. Trust me, if you saw the ending, especially the secret ending, you'd want one just as much as I do. Just not as much as the world ends with you, darn it, Square, just give me that sequel already! What does this have to do with Sin and Punishment Star's successor again? Nothing? Oh. Hey Larry, can you edit that out for me? You can? Okay, good. So in case you didn't get the many hints scattered across various videos the past year, I've been playing a lot of the Tales series this year. I scratched the surface with a couple of the games prior to last year, but I decided to complete my collection of the 3D Tales games except for Zestiria, and I grew a new appreciation for this series. These games aren't great, or even awesome. They're phenomenal. Holy crap, if you haven't gotten any interest in the series, I highly recommend this. But don't worry, I'll be talking a lot more about this series this year when I finish up the last few games I haven't beaten yet. But which game out of the many I've completed this year was my favorite? Abyss! 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 Holy crap, I did not expect this game to be this good. I had a similar experience with Symphonia. I heard the game was good, but after I played it, whew, I really knew. The story is one of my favorite in the series, with a strong aspect of it coming from the amazing characters. Aside from Vesperia, this is my favorite cast in the series. Each character has their own unique personality and backstory, making them very relatable, and I don't hate any of them. No, Arrow, I don't hate Annis anymore. Just throwing that out there. The graphics were really good for PS2 standards, with them having tons of expressions and animations. The music is also good, great, awesome, outstanding, amazing! Then there's the gameplay. Of course, control of the world map and towns is fine, but the combat is great. The game focuses a lot on teamwork, and the new free run feature adds a new area of depth to the battle system. The bosses also took a lot of advantage from this, making the game a very fair challenge for me, even though I didn't die once in my entire adventure. I'm not even joking. Everything about this game just screams complete. The characters are awesome, both heroes and villains alike. The graphics are eye-candy, the music is great on the ears, and the game just overall is so fun to play, and I enjoyed myself the whole way through, except for the backtracking. That was pretty dumb. But all in all, the game is just great in so many aspects. The game even got a re-release on the 3DS, so you really have no excuse not to play this game. It really sucks to see that this series doesn't get nearly the amount of attention it deserves, but hey, at least this is one of the more popular ones because it really deserves it. So with a game like this, what could possibly be number one? With so many GBA games on the list, it's fitting that I end with a GBA game at number 1, right? Plant Commander, I owe you one.
Well, then it wouldn't be a problem to work together on this segment.
How many people is Larry gonna let in? Goodness gracious!
Zafre, you're so PG.
Look, let's just get on with it, otherwise I might start crying.
What? Look, whatever, just don't cry.
Thank you! So anyways, yeah, this game is just amazing, and I'm so glad Plant Commander introduced me to such a great game.
It's Mother 3, guys.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present one of the greatest games crafted by mankind.
How very kind of you, Zafre. Many people say that the third time is the charm, and this game does absolutely nothing to prove otherwise.
Oh, absolutely. This game is downright legendary for being good, so when I played this, I was just hoping that the game would be great. Oh my gosh, it was!
The game's story goes around a lot just for how good it is. And really, it has everything. It's funny, it has great build-up, and it's also one of the saddest things to ever be in a video game. It really gives you a whole new appreciation for the character of Lucas, as well as the other characters, which are great in their own rights.
That's kind of an understatement. Those who finished the game know just how tear-jerking this game's ending is. I won't spoil it, trust me, it's too good. And I can really say that going into this game without knowing much about it is the best thing to do. I somehow managed to, and it was all the better that way.
The graphics are also incredible for the GBA, and can even stand up to the likes of late SNES titles. It just looks and animates that well. And that soundtrack is one of my all-time favorites. It just brings a tear to my eye. Mother 3, why must you be so good?
Are you crying?
No, no.
Here, I thought I was the sad one. Anywho, the soundtrack is great, and I really feel like it deserves way more songs than Smash Bros.
Exactly. Earthbound has a great soundtrack and all, but Mother 3 is just incredible. The battle system is turn-based, but with a twist that gets you more involved and to appreciate the soundtrack even more.
That, of course, is the rhythm system. Just attack to the beat of the music and you're good. We don't really have to talk about this in the first place, but man, does it make the game that much more fun!
Everything about this game just screams complete. The story and world were clearly made with a lot of care, and the soundtrack only has the best of the best. And the game is just so much fun to play.
It really is! I would constantly get wrapped up in this game's world and just talk to random NPCs. The game has a lot of charm and the attention to detail is just incredible. All in all, Mother 3 is a near flawless game that really doesn't get the attention it deserves. And I don't mean by the fans, oh no. We give the game a ton of attention. I mean the big N themselves.
Very true. It seems like the more we ask for an official English translation, the more they tease us. Yeah, it's great that we have the first Mother game and all, but seriously, enough beating around the bush. The fan translation does an excellent job though, and if you can get it to work, I strongly recommend it. But as of right now, this'll do just fine for me. It's my favorite game of all time for a reason. Mother 3 is, simply put, a masterpiece.
Well said. The whole package is there, and I adore this game so much, and it's a freaking GBA game! Gotta say, I honestly didn't think the game would be as good as it turned out to be, but you were right. And I guess that makes me laugh.
Of course I was right. So, I guess you're gonna ask me to leave now, huh?
No, I won't ask you to leave.
Oh, well great, because I'm gonna
command you to leave!
Haha, very funny.
No, seriously, get out. And that'll have to do it for my top 10 favorite games I played in 2015. Gee, that title's a mouthful. So say it with me, guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more top 10s and 5s. Here's to 2016 being an even better year for gaming, this channel, and most importantly, you guys. 2016, here we come. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and stay awesome!